What's up guys, Mickle here, and I just found something absolutely insane that you need to see. One of the most confusing things about this entire case has been the SEC trying to state that XRP itself has no utility. This is an extremely confusing statement because anyone who knows anything about crypto knows that XRP has more utility than most cryptocurrencies out there. In this video, I want to show you guys the exact reason the SEC is trying to make the absurd claim that XRP has no utility, and it is so terrible for their current case against Ripple. Guys, after seeing what I'm about to show you in this video, I am 100% convinced that there is no way XRP can be declared a security. You guys are not going to want to miss this. This is huge. Guys, I also want to talk about Bill Hinman's emails and what could potentially be in them. I saw an extremely interesting tweet thread put out on Twitter that really broke down just how bad these emails could possibly be. I want to show you guys something very interesting about these emails that I don't think is getting enough attention and is going to let you guys know exactly how bad these are for the SEC. Like always guys, if you're new to this channel or come here all the time, please take a second to hit the like and subscribe button down below. It goes such a long way in helping this channel grow, and it really does mean so much to me. If you guys are ever looking for a good place to buy some XRP, make sure to check out the link in the description below. With that said though, let's jump right into it, and I hope you guys enjoy the content. So guys, I want to start this video off and go over the Bill Hinman emails and what could potentially be in there. Make sure you stick around till the end though, because that's when I'm going to show you something absolutely massive and go over the huge predicament the SEC is currently in with trying to say that XRP has no utility. Let's start this off though, and I want to read this statement by Fred. One thing that is very important to point out is that a lot of different lawyers following this case have now gone out of their way to say how unordinary the SEC has been with not handing over these Ethereum free pass emails from Bill Hinman. The SEC has now spent over a year trying to not hand over these emails to Ripple and has spent the majority of the time in this case actually fighting this exact issue. This is extremely ironic but also very telling because they are the ones who brought this case against Ripple, and they have spent so little time actually addressing the merits of their own case. You would think that since the SEC is the party that brought this case in the first place, they would spend the majority of their time addressing their core thesis, which is why they believe XRP is an unregistered security. But instead, they've been spending almost their entire time trying to not hand over these emails, and that's why people like Fred in this tweet say now undeniably clear these docs are very, very bad for the SEC. So the big question is, what could potentially be in these docs? Now, Stephen Hubert put out 3 facts we know about these emails that I think we need to be paying very close attention to, and these are very interesting. He said, 1, the judge said the emails are relevant. Now, this is clearly very important because if the court didn't find these emails relevant to the case, this would be almost pointless talking about. But because the judge said that these emails are relevant to the case, this obviously shows that these emails are going to have implications on the end decision, and with the extraordinary procedures the SEC has taken to try to not hand these over, we can be extremely confident that these will be explosive for the case. Number 2 is that Ripple's lawyers have suggested that XRP might be mentioned. Now, I pointed out as soon as I saw this that I didn't think there was any way the Ripple lawyers would be saying this unless they knew XRP was mentioned in those drafts. The reason this is so important is because if XRP was mentioned in those drafts, which it looks like it does, it is almost guaranteed that it was something saying that XRP is not a security. The reason for that is if it said anything to the contrary, such as XRP is a security, the SEC would not be trying to hide that. They would make that forefront in this case and say, look, we always knew XRP was a security. But the fact that they're trying so hard to hide these emails almost proves that if XRP is mentioned in there, it is probably very very, very bad for their case. Now, it's pretty obvious at this point, but I think it's important to point out that if XRP was mentioned in those emails, that is a killer for the SEC. They will not be able to get around the fact that that will completely blow up their case, and almost every single lawyer I have seen speculate on these emails has stated that if XRP is mentioned in there, that would be a bombshell moment for Ripple in this case. And last of all, and maybe most interestingly, is number 3, the SEC admits that Hinman didn't give the speech he was supposed to. The latest approved version of his speech is not public. And that's something that I kind of forgot about, but something that I think is extremely important. And what I mean by this and what this is saying is that when Hinman gave the Ethereum free pass speech, it was actually not the speech he was supposed to be giving. He actually gave an earlier version of the speech that for whatever reason he felt was more appropriate to give rather than the agreed upon final version. And how do we know this? Well, take a look at this. Stephen Hubert put this on Twitter. He did not give the final version of the speech. I'm 100% sure that he was supposed to give the final version. I doubt he would have voluntarily made the final version and sent it out without the SEC wanting him to deliver it. So why would he send a final version out of the speech for everyone to review if this was the version of the speech he wasn't going to give out? Hinman clearly went behind everyone's back and gave a speech that was not agreed upon by everyone who was drafting it. And take a look at this footnote, because this is where we found this out. This was actually filing in the case. It says, while the final version of Director Hinman's remarks reflected in entry 11 is not publicly available, blah, blah, blah. But what it says here is that the final version of Director Hinman's speech is not publicly available. This means that Hinman, when he gave the speech at that conference, the famous Ethereum free pass speech, the speech he gave was not the final version because that one is not publicly available. So if this is the one that they all agreed upon was supposed to be the one that Hinman was going to give, then why didn't he give the final version? What made Hinman decide that he was going to go against everything people agreed upon, the one that they all put input on and the one that they thought was going to be read? What made him go out and read a different version? Well, take a listen to this by Stephen Hubert, because I think he is on the money with this one. He says, imagine the judge saying something like, Director Hinman's emails show that the SEC as an agency wanted to mention XRP also in his speech, to declare it sufficiently decentralized and to deny its security status. I therefore declare that the SEC charges are dismissed with prejudice. And what he's alluding to right here is the fact that it is very likely that in the final version of the speech, the SEC was actually supposed to also state that XRP is also sufficiently decentralized along with some other cryptocurrencies. But Bill Hinman, with his obvious ties to the Ethereum Foundation, realized that he had an opportunity to shut the door on everything else, give Ethereum a free pass, and make it so Ethereum was the only cryptocurrency in the market with certain clarity, and all he had to do was read a previous version of the speech. By not reading the final version, he was able to slam the door on every other cryptocurrency. And something very interesting that we know that happened that makes us all the more probable is the fact that Ripple was actually at that same conference where Bill Hinman gave the Ethereum free pass speech, and it is very likely that Ripple was there because they thought XRP was also going to get that clarity. But then when Hinman gave the speech, he reverted to an earlier form, and suddenly, boom, XRP was left out of the equation, and suddenly right there, the Ethereum monopoly started. Guys, there is no doubt in my mind that this is very likely what took place, or some form of it. It is going to be so interesting if we ever get to see what's actually in those emails. I don't think there is any way the SEC will let this happen. I think it is way more likely that they actually settle this case before they ever have to hand over those emails, because there is no doubt those emails are gonna expose their corruption, and I think that's the last thing they will let happen. They would rather lose the case. And guys, I wanted to quickly go over this because this was absolutely insane. I could not believe this when I saw it. This literally proves that this entire case is a complete sham. The SEC is completely out of line with this thing. I want to show you guys why the SEC is trying to make the absurd claim that XRP has no utility. This claim is a flat out lie. It makes zero sense, but I'm going to show you why the SEC is trying to do it. And let me tell you guys, this is not because they want to. It's because they have to. They are in a horrible position, and it's because of legal analysis Bill Hinman actually got. Take a look at this. This is a letter from Perkins Coie to Bill Hinman, and this was a memo on how to look at crypto tokens. And in this memo, take a look at these lines. But once the token has achieved full functionality, it should be treated as a non-security. Look at this. Securities cannot be used in the way utility tokens are intended to be used. For example, in payments. Guys, right here, we see that Bill Hinman received legal analysis that directly states that XRP today in no way should be declared a security. The SEC is completely out of line with this case, and that's why they are going so far as to try to say that XRP has no utility. They know that if XRP does have utility, which it does, their case doesn't make any sense based on their own legal analysis. If XRP has utility, which it does, their case flat out makes no sense. That's why the SEC is going out of their way to say XRP has no utility. They know that fact alone flat out destroys their entire argument. And guys, guess what the judge said on the first day this case started? She says she sees XRP as having a currency value and has more utility than both Bitcoin and Ethereum. Guys, the court knows that this entire case is a sham. We know it, and even the SEC knows it. How could you not think XRP has utility? You would have to have fundamentally no knowledge of what a cryptocurrency even is to make such an absurd statement. This entire case goes against everything the SEC has been told as an agency. They were told that when a token is fully functional and has utility, it's not a security, and they brought this case against Ripple anyway, knowing it didn't make any sense. Guys, thank you so much for coming. I hope this shows you how much of a sham this case really is, and that your XRP will never be declared a security. Thank you so much for coming. I hope you all have a great weekend, and for now, Mickle out.